We have a tropical system forming over the southern Bahamas headed for Florida and the Gulf Coast. I'm Mike Nasa with the latest on the tropics. It has been quite a slow hurricane season, but things are starting to heat up. We have Tropical Storm Florence, as you can see, in the eastern Atlantic, which is looking a little bit more lively than it was. It's not exactly extremely well organized, but it's flaring convection. A large tropical wave leaving Africa, and that could do something down the road. I'll show you some of the computer models with that. And of most concern for the United States, at least right now, is our potential tropical cyclone number 7, which is expected to become a tropical depression and then tropical storm Gordon within the next 12 to 24 hours and take a track through the Keys tomorrow and up towards the Gulf Coast by Tuesday or Wednesday. And it could be at least a strong tropical storm by the time it gets there. Now here's the latest on our potential tropical cyclone as of 5 p.m. Eastern Time from the National Hurricane Center. It was at 22.7 north, 77.3 west, moving west-northwest at about 15 miles per hour, and that motion is expected to continue straight through pretty much into Wednesday afternoon. And it is a 30-mile-an-hour tropical feature, so once it becomes 40 miles an hour and gets a low-level circulation closed off, then it will become a tropical storm and get the name Gordon. Now, we do have tropical storm watches from the Alabama-Florida border all the way to Morgan City, Louisiana, and it is expected to make landfall around 60 to 65 miles per hour, which isn't quite hurricane strength, but it's not the weakest that a tropical storm could be. Of course, we'll watch to see if it can intensify. It seems to be somewhat of a tighter feature, and those worry me over those warm waters, so we're going to keep a close eye. Now here's the model guidance, and they're just starting to come out with this system, but you can see they're pretty tightly clustered right through the middle Keys by tomorrow afternoon or evening, and then right on up into the Louisiana coastline, perhaps areas of Mississippi and Alabama, but anybody from, say, High Island all the way over to Pensacola should be on the alert for a potential landfall of this system by Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday afternoon, somewhere in that time frame, as it is expected to continue that motion towards the west-northwest. Now here's the satellite imagery on the visible as the sun starts to go down. You can definitely see some kind of turning right in this area here. See that? And that's kind of where they pegged the location of the center of what will be the center of this system, just near Andros Island to the northeast of Cuba and to the east-southeast of the Florida Keys, say Marathon by 240 miles or so. And in that direction, it will be moving heavy rainfall, perhaps up to 8 inches through South Florida and the Keys, and it will be moving over very warm water. Now, the upper level wind shear, not that unfavorable. It's going to be in a little bit of a safe harbor here pretty soon, and it will be moving along with it. So the environment looks conducive for intensification as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, but as of right now, nothing rapid is expected. It is not expected to become a hurricane, at least not at this point in time, but we will keep an eye on that, no doubt. Again, for the next 48 hours, heavy rainfall, maybe 2 to 4 inches, isolated amounts up to 8 for areas of South and Southeast Florida, and then the heavier rainfall headed to the Gulf Coast by the time of Tuesday and Wednesday. So as of right now, that's the primary threat with this system, gusty winds and heavy rain, but we'll see as it progresses what those impacts may be. And then we go further out and we see Florence. Now Florence is at 17.4 north, 34.6 west. Winds are 50 miles an hour, so it's been fluctuating around 50 to 60 miles per hour. It's moving west-northwest quickly at 17, and it is expected to remain a tropical storm the next 5 days, although it could strengthen a bit here at the end. And the computer models are kind of back and forth with this system. They're a little bit unsure of which direction. Is it going to head more west in the long range, or is it going to start to turn? And that's all going to be dependent on the ridging to the north of it. You can see the computer models here did shift west today. So if you're in Bermuda especially, keep a very close eye on Florence, because if it does start to strengthen into a hurricane by this point and bend to the west, even if it misses the eastern seaboard, Bermuda, you're right there in the middle of the Atlantic, and you'd be at risk. So everybody needs to keep an eye on Florence, but as of right now, it does not appear to be a significant threat to land masses, as it should, as of right now, stay over open water as a tropical storm for the next 5 days. The European model brings our system right into southern Louisiana over the next 48 hours, and then takes Florence very far west, just south of Bermuda, and then it has a feature behind it, probably that tropical wave leaving Africa, and then another much stronger system, a hurricane, behind that, with increasing ridging to the north. So if this does occur, there might be a chance that some of these systems might slide much further west, or even in the Caribbean if the ridging gets strong. But that's just the European model. The Canadian model is also showing a system behind Florence, but it kind of turns that one further to the northwest, keeps Florence moving towards the west at the end there, south of Bermuda, and it brings our system a little bit more potent into southeastern Louisiana. But again, like the Hurricane Center noted, for our system in the Bahamas, future Gordon, if it is named, there seems to be pretty tight model clustering. So I would think southeast Louisiana, you guys really need to watch it, because it could be headed your way. So that'll do it this time for our system in the Bahamas. We're going to watch it as it progresses. If it does become Tropical Storm Gordon, we will, of course, take action and see where we go from there. And we'll also keep an eye on Florence. I'm Mike Naso, and I will talk to you guys next time.